Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In case you're new here, welcome, super glad to have you. My name is Julian, I'm the creator of Smartphone Filmmaking Pro, and in this video I'll share with you the top 3 gimbal movements that you can use for your Instagram Reels, for your TikToks, and of course also for your YouTube Shorts. This video is very kindly supported by the Hohem iSteady MT2. It's this gimbal that I have in my hand right now. We will also take a closer look at this gimbal throughout this video because this does have some very cool features. You can see I can use it with a smartphone. No, it's actually a camera. I can use it with my camera, but also with my smartphone, but more throughout this video. But now let's get started with the first gimbal movement. So the very first gimbal movement that you can use basically for all of your videos, but of course also for your Instagram Reels, is the standard push-in shot. And this is a shot that I use basically all the time. And you know, with a smartphone gimbal, no, this is a camera gimbal. I'm so used to talking about smartphones. So with a gimbal, you can do this very easily. And basically the way and how this works is you pick any object, any subject, whatever. I'm just using, you know, this part of the bridge right here. And basically I'm just framing my shot however I like it. I try to place the most, you know, the coolest part in the center of my frame. And then basically all I'm doing is I'm walking straight forward towards my object. So let's do this. Just walking forwards. Yeah, that's basically it. I will do the same. You can do the same also backwards. That's called the push out then. And that's basically the first gimbal movement. You can of course also combine this with some tilt ups or tilt downs. This is also something that looks really cool, especially if you have some type of foreground, something like leaves from a tree or whatever. If you add some type of dimension, especially if you're using a wide angle lens, this will just make your shot so much cooler. And in the end, the push-in shot can be used to basically to establish a location, for example. So this is definitely a movement that you should have in your toolkit. So one of my favorite features of the Hohem iSteady MT2 is the fact that it can be used, you know, without even an operator. So I'm filming right now alone, and you know, I have activated the AI tracking, and basically it's just following me around to wherever I'm going. And yeah, it's doing that very fantastically fine. You can also use that with your smartphone, with your camera. And for example, if you are standing up, then, well, it's also following you. And this is probably the perfect thing for all of you that want to do some Facebook live streaming, or for all of you, I don't know, that are jumping around, or I don't know, whatever use case that you might have. And what I absolutely love about this is that you do not have to use any specific app for this, and you can stop it all the time just by doing this, and then it stops. Another thing that I really like about the Hohem iSteady MT2 is, as you can see, it's actually very tiny considering I'm shooting on a full frame mirrorless camera. I can shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second. And you know, this is such a big deal, especially for all of you that are traveling a lot. The fact that you can use it with a normal camera, but also that you can use it with a smartphone is just absolutely amazing in my opinion. Something that's also really cool is not only the fact that it works with smartphones and also with smaller cameras. I think it's also absolutely fantastic that you have a quick release change on how you can change from vertical shooting to horizontal shooting. So it works super fine. It basically only takes like 30 seconds, and yeah, it's really cool to have this feature. But now let's come to the second gimbal movement that you can use for your Instagram Reels. And basically the way and how this works is you pick one object or one subject, and you basically walk around that object. So you make half a circle, an entire circle, and your goal is to keep that object always in the same spot of your frame. Ideally with a vertical video with Instagram Reels, I would recommend that you frame your object in the center of the frame, but if you're shooting horizontally, you can also use the rule of thirds. But I'll just show you very quickly what this looks like. So basically I'm just picking one of these graffitis, setting my focus there, start my recording, and then I'm just making a half circle and try to keep the object at the same spot of the frame the entire time. And as you can see, this creates this very cool orbit effect. We'll do the same thing also backwards. Yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. And this is definitely, you know, a movement that does require some practice, especially if you're using some closer focal lengths like a 50 mil. It does create a very, very cool effect, and you can use that to show off your products or people or whatever. It's very versatile. You can use that basically for everything, but the closer your focal length, the more practice it requires. The battery life of this thing is also absolutely amazing. I think it can get out like 17 hours. You can charge it within just like a couple of hours. So like I said before, also for traveling, considering how light this is, how small this is also something that's really cool. And something that I also really like, I've seen that already with the Hohem iSteady M6, which I reviewed a couple of months ago. The way and how you can change between all the different modes on this gimbal is just absolutely fantastic. And it does not require any third-party app or anything. I mean, Hohem does have their own app and you can use it, but especially when you're using it with a professional camera. You know, having the ability just by pressing one button to change from pan, tilt, follow to the locked mode. So you can see now the entire gimbal is just locked, so you can also make hyperlapses with that. You can also go to the POV mode, which is something that we will just take a closer look at in a few seconds, because this will be the third gimbal movement, just a very quick teaser. It does also have a full 360-degree spin, so there are basically all the gimbal modes that are out there. So the next gimbal movement that I have for you is the POV or the FPV movement. And to be honest, it's not really a movement, but rather a mode on the gimbal. And the Hohem iSteady MT2 is also capable of that mode, and I'm already in that mode, and as you can see, all of the axes are unlocked, so there are no more limitations, and this creates tons of opportunities for creative shots. You can, like I said, you can get creative, and we are here at this, I don't know how it's called in English. What do they call it? In Austria we say Brunnen. I don't know how it's called, but I'll just show you very quickly. I just started my recording. I'll basically just do it like this, and then I'm moving closer. And I'm filming this in 60 frames per second right now. Of course it stops now, of course. But basically this is how it works, and then you can get cool shots like this. Just a very quick thing, in case you are enjoying the video, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's helping out more than you think, and apparently almost 90% of all people watching these videos are not subscribed, so just click that subscribe button. Thank you very much, but now let's continue with the video. So there you have it, guys. These are my top 3 gimbal movements that I like to use whenever I'm making YouTube shorts, TikToks, but to be honest, you can also use the exact same movements when you're shooting horizontally and you're making long form content. Overall, I gotta say the iSteady MT2 has performed exceptionally well in all of my testing. Also, when I was using it with my Galaxy S23 Ultra and some add-on lenses, it performed fantastically fine. I will definitely link it down below so that you can check it out for yourself. Also, huge thanks to Hohem for sponsoring this video. And in case you would like to learn more about filming with your smartphone, then definitely make sure to click the first link below that like button. We're Smartphone Filmmaking Pro. We are the ultimate online course about, you know, learning how to create amazing looking videos with your smartphone. And in case you want to, dive deeper into the top gimbal movements, we have also created a completely free PDF guide for you guys, where you can also find some graphics so that you can remember just everything. It's also linked down below. If you have any more questions, make sure to let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.